Today is the 26th of July. That's when I'm filming this. And it has been such a day of many emotions for me. Before I talk about the milestone moment we've had as Mbugua Foundation, I want to take us back to this morning. I was part of the Citizen Assembly and I was moderating the earlier session. And as I've shared online and as I've shared in the room as well, having a conversation with Mama Rex, Rex, who is the first victim of police brutality during the Reject Finance Bill protests, was, as you can imagine, it was utterly heartbreaking, and you'll find it online. And you know what things like that do? Interactions with what's going on the ground, having conversations, very real conversations that take you behind the numbers and the data. Having conversations about people whose lives have been completely and forever changed in one moment are what remind you why you do the advocacy you do, or why perhaps you need to lend your voice to different conversations that are happening. She really just detailed her heart-wrenching moment of getting a phone call, being told that her son is no more, and then the subsequent issues that went on in just trying to find justice for him, even just trying to get him an honorable send-off, if one might say that. And the scars are heavy because they're fresh and they're new. And then daily we've been seeing heavier cases of brutality being meted out on people. So we're at an interesting point in Kenya, right? We're at a point where it's not enough to have a conversation and let it go. It's about public participation. It's about leading into civic education. It's about that famous quote that JFK said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. What are you doing for your country? Where you are with what you have? What conversation are you sparking? What reality are you becoming aware of that can perhaps make you sit and think, I think I need to check my privilege. I think I need to adjust my lens. I'm doing that every day. I've been self-checking every day because there comes a time when you have to be pushed into an action that can forever change the face of your country. And then I'm going to take you to what we were doing here at Pride in Azure. Mbugua Foundation in 2021 collaborated with the UN Foundation and the Generation Equality Forum. This forum was convened to mark 25 years of the Beijing Declaration for Women, which was marked in Beijing, China in 1995. Now, Generation Equality Forum was essentially a platform to sort of pass the baton to younger voices. It's been marked by interesting things, right? I think a lot of young people at some point were saying, didn't really feel as youth-led as you all thought you made it sound like. But through the years, what it's done is it has reprioritized conversations along very critical thematic areas: climate justice, feminist leadership, gender-based violence, women's leadership, and other thematic areas that you can read about on the Generation Equality Forum website. Now, in 2021, Mbugua convened and introduced the Mbugua Voices. It was the first cohort. These were young people who already had a passion for social impact. If you remember, we launched the Hatuta Sita Challenge, which was part of a TikTok challenge that talked about how we're not going back 26 years. We then launched at a hotel where we kind of made a call to action that we are not going to allow gender-based violence to be a reality years from now. Fast forward to 2024, and we're at the second cohort of Mbugua Voices. But you know what's incredible? People like Rose Wajob, Lillian Simiyu, Amina Nzenga, and Mutsi, Cynthia, were all in the first cohort, and now they're essentially working with Mbugua or working for Mbugua. And those are the things, honestly, sometimes that's all you need to make you feel like that is the kind of agency and legacy that you want to leave behind. And so we had students from University of Nairobi and USIU. We are piloting the second cohort of Mbugua Voices called Generation Parliament. And it's interesting that it comes in the time when youth voices and Gen Z voices are really top of mind for everyone. And what it is that we're doing is continuing to equip them. They're already so powerful on their digital platforms, but how do we continue to equip young people to do citizen-led journalism? Lead with facts. Even your storytelling, how do we get you to be able to create a narrative that comes from you, that has your conviction, but that is also equipped with the tools to put it out on a platform in a way that you can engage with followers or continue to scale your story. So I'm so excited that we were here with them. We had incredible facilitators as well, walk us through movement building and SRH and GBV. And I love that the students feel appreciative of it and feel like, yes, even though we are already passionate about advocacy, these extra tools can allow us to really sink our teeth into the storytelling and amplification that's needed to push back on gender-based violence. If you remember, maybe you don't, in the 2021 cohort, Kenya was the lead action coalition for GBV. And 12 commitments were made in Kenya, 12 commitments to end gender-based violence. And since then, we haven't seen a lot of movement around it. And so this is a way to kind of reintroduce that fight, that push to reinvigorate people to push for justice. There's so many organizations in Kenya and beyond that are part of the Generation Equality Forum. Please read up on them. Please participate in the Generation Equality Forum, because essentially it's supposed to be a marker to how we are doing in pushing for gender equality. So I feel very proud today, but I also feel like I am relearning so many new things about myself and about my convictions, but also being able to observe young people take back their power has allowed me and so many others remember the power that each of us has, because each and every one of you has something in your fire, in your belly, and I think we need to be brave about it, and I think we need to be alive to it. Nimeongea kizungu mingi sana. All of that is to say, it's a day that I'm not going to forget anytime soon, starting with the morning session at Citizen Assembly and ending with the second cohort introduction of Inuadada Voices. It's also just filled me with a lot of pride just seeing the Inuadada team and JM Media Avenue, which is my media company. So that Cyrus and Joanne don't start saying that I don't integrate them in the shout-outs. Nimewa shout-out. Asa kina Ian, nimewa shout-out too. Kindly, just take the shout-out. Just take the shout-out, guys. Take the shout-out. I need to process a lot, but I think this has been an incredible day, an incredible milestone. And we can't wait to show you guys all the activities we'll be doing with the Inuadada Voices and the chapters in the next few months, and something very exciting that we're hoping to introduce and launch at the end of the year or at the end or the beginning of next year. All right, I'm gonna go. Thank you, Pride in Azure, for being partners with us. You've continued to collaborate with us, and thank you to the Inuadada and JM team. Thank you to USIU, UON, to all the facilitators, all the students, and to you who's watching, who's been on this journey with me for such a long time. I cannot thank you enough. I always do, and I will never forget to. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Still a lot of work to be done, still a lot of conversations to be had about the country that we want. So let's connect. Sawa, nimeenda kutumia chai bwana.